It says I'm live, and it looks like I've got the camera angle I want now. I have no viewers, however. Let's see if anyone actually joins. I'm going to use this time to try and spread the word as best I can. I don't have Twitter on this thing, so I can't advertise there. Yo, welcome, Adam Fairley 1407. Good to have you. If I want to share the link to the stream on Twitter or Blue Sky, I'd have to close out the YouTube app, and I feel like YouTube's not going to like it if I do that. Okay, I guess we'll just see if the viewers come in naturally. And again, I'll give it a few minutes, see if anyone else joins, and then we'll get to what the main topic of this is. This was admittedly very impromptu on my part. I probably should have given myself more time to prepare. Oh well. These things happen. And I was just telling me the other stream was uploaded. I don't know if I uploaded. I'm gonna make that private immediately, actually. I'm not a coward, I don't hide my failures. Not all the time. 3 viewers, wow, that's more than one or two. Where's my water? I'm thirsty. So I know there's... I do wonder, I know the last stream ended up renewed. I hope this one doesn't. If that's in my control though, I don't know how to fix that just yet. I think YouTube has tampered a lot with the live streaming feature on mobile. Then again, maybe that's my fault for doing everything on my phone. Whoopsie. Now what can I do to pass the time? No? Sup, yellow LOL guy. Welcome. Good to have you. Anyone who knows me knows I love seeing some yellow. It's a shame Nick isn't here. He'd understand. get ahead of you when you used to. It's okay. Any plans to make any new custom characters? Always. I have made quite a few things recently. In fact, I have them with me. My newest completed customs, I made some trucks. These are the 7-point trucks that you can get from Nick TF89. These ones I painted purple and gold to match the trucks that come with Tomy and Trackmaster Lady, because I always thought those were cool. I also made some blue ones. These ones are based on ones from the Hit era. They appeared in Thomas's new trucks. They're the ones James pulls. And they're also used in that one season 12 episode where they're filled with pink sugar and crash into Stepney and explode. As for actual characters though, give me a moment to go grab them. I showed this off in a post not too long ago, but my newest custom engine I finished is Hong Mei from Big World era. This is my second attempt at making her. The first one, I probably should have grabbed it, but the first one wasn't great, so this is the updated version. And I'm really happy with her. She is... Her chassis, cab, and running board come from a Mattel Charlie. The side tanks and boiler here are from Thomas. The smoke box is from Rosie. The extra dome, I think I got that off an Edward. The face is from a Trackmaster Push-Along Hong Mei. And the lamp is actually an All Engines Go Thomas Buffer, the die-cast push-along one. Yeah, that's her. And the Murdering Diesel for a next custom. Hold on. I personally don't call them that, but I know who you're talking about, so give me just a moment. I made these a year ago and never showed them off. So yeah, these are the diesels from Escape. See, D5701, Boko's blue brother. Again, it's just a Boko painted blue. It has a clay face, and it has Lumpy written on the bottom because a lot of people in the fandom like to call him that, including quite a few people in my friend group, and I think it's funny, so that's what I went with. And then we have the other diesel here, who is a Class 20. I know a lot of people like to believe that this is actually a Class 08 with the face on the back. Personally, I'm not big into that. I wanted to try something different, so yeah. This is a Derek. I moved his cab from the middle to the front here, and the face is from the Tomy Bulgy. I took a Dremel to it to get rid of the little, bits around it. And yeah. Those are my diesels. This one is a little bit on the tall side, but that's more the fault of Derek, so makes it look more intimidating, I guess. Did you make a Dudley custom? Yes I have. And, not trying to ask because I know its legacy is tainted, but has the fandom stopped using Alfred due to Richard losing his once respected status he had before being locked up like he deserved? To get this out the way quickly, yes, most people in the fandom don't want to use Alfred because he's so intrinsically tied to that horrible person. Personally, I believe that Alfred should be left in the past. Like, you don't need to keep using him. I made a custom of Alfred 2 years ago, and after the news came out, I put that aside and, well, I'll probably do a video about this one day, but I don't remember if I ever showed this on a live stream, but this was an Alfred, but as you can see, it doesn't have the number anymore, and I changed the face. It's been scrubbed of its original identity. This is my own character now. And on a lighter note, here's Dublin. Shout out to Barry Chuck, he's actually cool. Do you have a Super Ed custom? I have two. I am already getting sick of having to move out of my spot and grab stuff for myself. Okay. This was my first Super Ed. I made it out of an old style D199. But I wasn't very happy with it. So I made a second one to try and look more like a real Electro Diesel. Specifically, I based this one off the Class 73. I know a lot of people go with it being 74, but I just think the 73 looks a tad more appealing. And I like this livery that I know one of them has. I might do a video about him in the future. But, yeah. He's a Daisy with a capsule Playrel cranky face. And yeah, pretty simple one overall, but I'm happy with him. And you most definitely will be seeing him in Subject Legends because this character was practically made for it. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, you know, I'm just not gonna say anything. Just know it does. Yeah. Super Ed is gonna fit right in. Do you have a Barry custom? Yes, I do. I have two, technically three. Actually, technically four. Fuck. I first made a Barry custom in 2015. It was bad, and it's been destroyed. I made a second Barry custom in 2022. before we knew that he was supposed to be a tank engine, not a tender engine. This is an old style James with a new style Henry tender that was very crudely cut to try and be the proper shape of this engine, and a smudger face. And then, I think 2024, I made a new Barry as a tank engine. I also recently added the number because we found that out. Also, here's Barry the Black 5. He's my own creation. Anyway. And I did see that comment about Franklin. Yes, I have Frankie. She was made from an Ari or Bert, I don't remember which one, doesn't really matter. But I did a lot of filing on the front bonnet bit to get it the right shape. There's a bit of extra wood there. A Lego stud for her funnel. Adventure's face, she also has a bit of wood at the front to be her buffer beam. I was going to paint her number on it, but it was just really hard because there's not a lot of space. There she is. I might do a video on her with all the other JBS cast as a group thing. Okay. Before we get any more sidetracked though, because we are already nearly 20 minutes into the stream, we are once again taking a look at some 2026 match. Because, recently it was my birthday, on the 5th. If you didn't wish me happy birthday, then I'm disappointed in you. That's fine, it's whatever. But, you know, I didn't get any gifts for my birthday. No one gets me anything. They just get money, which is lame. Now having money, I could have put it towards something useful like food or rent, but I decided I'm gonna buy toys. So we got this, the Railroad Builder Kit, and also the Bell Station set. So this is going to be my first exposure to the new truck for this range, which I've heard a lot of things about. I'm very curious to actually get a look at it for myself. I need to turn my fan on because it's hot. Hopefully that's not too intrusive. Yeah. The Bell Station I got from Smith's, and this I got from the Entertainer. Like this just got stocked when I got it. They also had motorized Rosie and probably Diesel, but I didn't look for him. If you know me, you know I'm not a big fan of the new motorized trains, so I'm not really picking any of them up. Okay. What characters do you want to see in the new reboot? I'm mainly curious about the narrow gauge engines just because I know Reneus is going to be in it, or at least he's getting a toy. I would also really like to see Daisy. I'm not getting my hopes up. Why is the camera like this? Why is it so bright? Ben, like, honestly, if you added Daisy and the Scottish Twins, I feel like the selection we've got now is pretty solid. And Rebecca too. If you ask me, you could probably substitute with for any of those characters, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I think I'm going to start with this just because it's smaller, and it doubles as storage, so when I'm done I can just pack it away and then so I feel like I'm going to like this a lot more. But, yes. That's the packaging. Pretty simple. It's a track pack that comes with person. Contents, and then all the different sets you can make, which I don't think any of these actually use every piece you get. Which is a bit strange. Also know, what's weird is that you get 2 of these curved ascending pieces, but only 1 of the other type. I feel like they could have easily put in a second one. Also 4 straights, which for a modern day Thomas set, that's honestly a miracle. There's a bit of plastic back here. Cut that. It's under the zip. This feels fitting to me because as a way for me to get the new track, because one of the first ever pieces of Thomas merch I ever got was a take-along track pack. It was smaller than this. It only had like a loop and a set of bridges for like a level crossing and some signs, and it came with Henry instead of Percy. But it's a green engine, it works. This will also be my first exposure to the new Percy, because I've not bought the standalone version. I'm waiting till the pack of Clarabelle comes out. Though I know this is a plastic one. So it'll also be interesting to see what these plastic engines are like. Ooh. So I open the box and the first thing I see is some cardboard and instructions. I'm surprised this even has instructions. I figured the stuff on the back would be enough. We've got this little slip that comes with the adapter to connect the Trackmaster 2. It's another thing I have some thoughts on them changing the track system again, but on the other hand, I'm not about to pretend that Trackmaster 2 was ever good. Oh, okay. This is kind of nice. We see we've got all this track bundled in, and there's a little, like, pocket, just like Percy. That's actually fun. Comes out pretty easily. Plastic protector. I guess we'll start off just talking about Percy. Well, he's pretty light, which is to be expected. He's got the face. I'm not going to say it. But, I fucking hate this face. This is the most punchable face of the new reboot designs. The toy itself is fine though, he's got all the right proportions. He's got a gold painted dome and whistle, as well as his water cap for some reason. But I guess it's something because I know the normal one doesn't have that, which is kind of weird. He has a molded tail lamp. He's got rivets on the bottom instead of screws, which I know Thomas has. He also has lamp irons, which is kind of weird because no other character in the range has those. Not even Thomas. That's very strange to me. I dropped him. But, yeah, not a whole lot to say. It's an acceptable Percy. Okay. Mine does connect the right way. I've seen a few posts online where people have gotten this Percy with the magnets on backwards. But mine seems to be correct. I can't tell if the magnets are weaker than plastic or not. Yeah, nothing too fancy with the instructions, just telling you how to do all the tracks. I'm not going to read those. I don't want to grind the stream to a halt more than it has. Now let's look at the track. Okay, we got extending piece, 12 descending pieces, and all the curves are taped together. Each type of switch, some risers, and the straights. Okay. Very nice. It's just held together with paper. It has some tape on it. I don't even need my scissors. I probably should have grabbed some truffles to chop it with now. It's quite wide. Probably looks better with the motorized engines, but it's kind of got a Trackmaster 1 style clip to it, obviously a bit more exaggerated. Surprisingly, there's molded detail on the bottom. Like, you can see the wooden planks for the sleepers. They also have the new logo in there. I'd rather it be there than on the top. It does also seem like this line color is just becoming the new standard. I'm not a fan of the multicolored track, but if they have to do it, I think I'd rather the green be a bit darker to maybe contrast the brighter engines a bit more. We also have these curves. They are 60-degree curves, just like the last iteration of Trackmaster Thomas Wood. I would rather they be 45-degree curves, like the old stuff, but unfortunately it's what we're stuck with. Yeah. These curved descending pieces. These ones going up to the right. 2 of these, but only 1 of this one. That's really strange. And the ascending pieces, which are like a light grey. I feel like these would be good as a standard colour. And switches. Never go wrong with switches. Let's actually see what the connection is like. They do indeed snap together pretty easily. This is quite the easy connection. Let's see how stable this is. I'm gonna hook all the strokes together. Okay, yeah, you do without too much force, they will come apart. But they do seem quite sturdy. So I don't have any of the new motorized engines because I have standards. But I do have some stuff from last year just to test this re-railing feature. Not that I need to, but I know it works. I've seen people talk. I'm just very curious. Okay, maybe I exaggerated by a bit too much. Maybe I should actually wait till I get a proper layout out to test this. Okay, yeah, that seems to work pretty well. We'll try that again when I've got an actual layout set up. Speaking of which, I'm not going to build every single layout on stream, but I am going to try and at least set up a simple track system to get an idea of what this has in store for me. So let's see. I also do, well, I don't need to test how the Tendo engines perform on the track now because other people have done it for me at this point. But I would love to see it with my own two eyes. Maybe I should have done this on the floor. But I'm not doing it. I don't remember. I will say, I do hope that they make more of these track packs in the future. Ones that don't include an engine would be nice. So like if you want to get multiple track collection but don't want to get too many duplicates. This is honestly pretty satisfying. I do need to clear some space though. Oh, it's time to break. Nope, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. Why did I put these engines here? I thought I'd need them. I am also realizing I didn't build the layout exactly correct. I don't even know if I'll have time to look at the Bell Station set. Well, this might actually be bigger than my table. I didn't even show the supports. We've got these like normal ones that are made of brick, and these double height ones which are made of like steel beams, girders. I don't even know if anyone said anything in the chat. I don't know if people are still watching. Hi, I hope you enjoyed your birthday last Sunday. Thank you, Phyllis Locomotive 4091. I did. I really appreciate that. See, stuff like this is why I don't do toy reviews. Well, actually, maybe it is why I should. I can cut out all of this. I can cut out the nonsense like this and go straight to the part where it's all set up and complete and nice. But I don't want to go through the trouble of filming the video. I like being able to capture my raw reaction. Okay. There's a few leftover pieces, but that's one layout complete. And it does hold together pretty nicely. Obviously some bits can come undone. But let's grab Percy, give him a little run of the circuit. Obviously it does make a bit of noise on the track since it's intended for motorized stuff that has the grooves. And he went pretty far. Actually, maybe it's time to flip the camera around. Yeah, he goes quite the distance. That's pretty nice. Oh. Let's go points. Send him on his merry way. A little circle there if you want. You know, if you're not being as rough as I am and causing him to fly off the track. Although, yeah, there are these like bits where the inside rails kind of dip down, so I mean, the die-cast engines might get caught on that. I worry how that might affect the bigger engines. But let's see how a metal engine works on this set. Yeah, again, seems to work pretty fine. Let's try actually making a train. By the way, since the last stream I did, I have bought more troublesome trucks and painted the bracing on the side. So I think they look a lot nicer like this. Oh, the thing's sliding on my table. Oh yeah, he gets some real good distance there. Okay. Let's see how the tender engines work. I almost forgot to mention. I bought James since the last stream. I didn't bother showing him off because he doesn't deserve it. He kinda sucks. But to give my quick thoughts, he might actually be worse than Gordon. The body looks fine enough. The handrail thing is ugly. The face, what can I say that hasn't been said already? His tender is longer than Gordon's for some reason. Yeah. Okay. When are you gonna do Cedric Legends? This year, hopefully, I'm in the middle of, yeah. I'm very close to revitalizing my studio to have a proper film space. That's what you're looking at right now. This big table is going to become my film space. I just have to, you know, actually move some stuff over there. And then it will be ready. Will you maybe do customs of the Taggart cast as Thomas characters? You mean the Digital Circus? No. That's not really the type of thing I do. Right. Put James on the track. And he seems fine. But yeah, like Percy, I can feel him getting caught on spots. Now we'll try Gordon. He was one I was worried the most about, because worried about his clearance. Okay. He does seem able to maneuver this track system okay. He can handle the risers. Okay, Gordon handled that better than I was expecting. I feel like that means Henry will be fine. That now just makes me curious to see what Hero and Mia will be like. Also, I hope this isn't so loud that it's drowning me out. Speaking of Mia, let's grab her, see how she can feel the shot. Again, I don't have any of the 2026 engines, so this will have to do. See how well this reloading system actually works. Oh, don't do that, no. I have to get rid of the points just to test this, because I feel like it's not fair using those as an example. Maybe I should just give her less points. Yeah, they got back on. Get a look at that again. Yep. And the re-railing system works. It seems fairly solid to me. I might have to do further testing with that, I'm not sure. I did see that I might have missed a comment too. Which customs of 98462875546 in the red engine do you have? Well, wooden ones that I made like a year or two ago. I'll drop them in a minute. I think that the 2026 Henry should be a new member of the Henry Club. You say that like he isn't already. because you asked very quickly, I will take a slight detour. This is my custom of 87546. I made him as a tank engine because I thought it'd be cool, a bit different from normal. And also, yeah, I guess here's an example of the wooden railway engine on the track. They perform pretty much identical to Track Superstation. Yeah, I made this out of a whiff, and he has, I think that's a Mac face. Yeah, I did make this as a tender engine before, but I wanted to make him a bit different, so yeah. And here is 98462. He was made from a Flying Scotsman. He has, well, all of these wheels are from Thomas. The big ones are from an early Engineers. The face is from Freddy. The tender is a standard Fowler tender, probably from Edward or Gordon, but with some clay at the back to give it this distinct shape. As for the red engines, I've made two. This red engine I made back in 2020. It's obviously based on the one from The Sad Story of Henry. It's a 2017 James. I gave it eyelashes to make it female. I also gave her the name Evelyn. She ever appears in my series, so yeah. Pretty straightforward. And lastly, I made this one, which is supposed to be the engine from Edward's Day Out. So, a bigger engine, nothing at him. It's just a repainted Molly. And for my purposes, I have named her Grace. She also has an Emily face, which has been repainted. Yeah. Another pretty simple one, but there we go. I will go put these back now. While we're here, actually, something I want to check. Okay, yeah. Oh. This adventure's Frankie, and by extension, what's taking place should be able to film it. But just be aware that they get caught on the points, because this bit here is a little thicker. They do get caught on it a little bit there. Manages this track. Yeah, again, fine, just gets caught on the thicker part of the points. Let's give a comparison. Wild how much things change. Yeah, There it is. Adapter to Trackmaster 2 track. Pretty straightforward. You only get one in each set. I feel like he should have come with two. But the fact you even get any at all is appreciated. Anyway, I can't believe that we're over 50 minutes into the stream and I've already talked about this fucking track pack. If I want to talk about the set, I might have to speedrun that. I was really hoping for the chance to look at the two sets side by side and combine them. But not only will we not have time for that, I feel like there's just not enough space for it on my table right now. So maybe another time. Maybe in the future, if I get one of the other sets, I'll do a video or a stream of me building a master layout. Also, this bridge sector is holding really well. Like, they hold on to the track tight. I'm almost worried I'm going to break it. Come on. Put everything back in its bag. And then we'll at least try to make space for the other set. Overall thoughts though, I definitely have liked. My main thing is just the curves. Again, I do wish that they were 45 degrees instead of 60. But other than that, I do think the new track system is pretty solid. I already like it much better than Trackmaster 2. Trackmaster 2 track is awful. This, I actually feel like I can put it together and take it apart without breaking it. So yeah, I do really hope they make more of these track packs. Especially since it is a new system, I feel like that kind of stuff is needed now more than ever. I'll leave Percy out. He can stay around for the rest of the stream. I do like that though, I do like how good this bag is for travel. I never updated the camera on this, so you probably can't even get a good look at anything I'm talking about. Cool. And good morning. Good morning to you, Pasha and Thomas and PBS Kids 7777. Unfortunately, it is afternoon for me, and it's a hot one too. Also, I didn't point it out. If you've seen other people's reviews, you probably already know this, but they differentiate the track system based on the Thomas & Friends logo. The new track has the new logo. The Trackmaster 2 track has the classic Thomas & Friends logo. I feel like the fact that I just called that classic probably gave someone a number of them. Not my problem, though. Alright, with that out of the way, time for the big one. Well, sorta. Technically it's got less pieces in it than the track pack, but one of them is also massive, to be fair. Just so I can actually... Back to good old me. I chose to get this over Tidmouth Sheds because, well, I'd already spent a bit on the track pack. I didn't want to go for anything too insane. I might go for Tidmouth Sheds later, see if maybe it goes down a bit around Christmas. And also this, I think, just makes a better starter set. I mean, it's kind of got the bare essentials. Help Thomas keep Sodor on schedule by picking up and dropping off passengers. With what coach? Yeah, I don't think he's going to do a very good job at that. So, Thomas. Sociable, cheeky, and bold. He's ready for any job. That's a decent description of Thomas, I think. Part of me wishes that we could have these bios on the actual boxes for the individual characters. Like, I think it would be good at least for people who, like, people who aren't hardcore fans like us, at least being able to, like, say, you know, see Oliver and Toad, characters who are essentially new to them, and have an actual description on the back. That's besides the point. What's interesting is that the box is held together with glue, it seems. There's no tape anywhere. But it does have a little slit on the back here that you can open it up. And that's interesting to me. Hopefully I get this right. Oh, I've already broken it. I don't know if I'm going to keep the box, so I probably shouldn't be too sad. I made myself a paper cup doing this, that would suck. There we go. Oh, everything looks pretty neatly packed in here. Yeah, that's the time track. That makes sense at least. Yeah. Based on Mattel's track record, I feel like the station especially is going to be a one-time snag. Oh, stickers! You've got to do stickers. Alright, the set is already terrible. I hate stickers. I look at the car parking spaces. Tunnel. Selling piece, a ramp. We've got two bags here. One of these is the adapter. One of them's got to be something else. And we've got the bell. It's plastic, it doesn't actually ring. Bushes. Oh, those go around the station. Oh, and another piece of track here. How do I get Thomas out of his prison. I see a rubber band holding him in place. Oh wait, there's a swap to bust in the back here. You're mine, Thomas. You're mine, Thomas. Okay, it's not working properly. Open, damn you. There we go, come on. Okay, this is this is... Does it matter if I cut the rubber band? People are going to be upset if I do that. I don't know why I use it for. I can't cut it. Can I hold Thomas out and get him untangled? Is that possible? God. I think I should start taking this out. It's glued in there. There is no way I'm struggling to open a children's toy. This is embarrassing. Why is anyone still watching this? That's not your sign to leave, by the way. I'm glad that someone actually thinks this is worth sticking around for. This Thomas is pissing me off. I might just leave him trapped there if he keeps up. Henry, Genry, Henry, Benry, Dotty, Barry. I'm just undoing the bandoliers rules now. I should have done this one, but then this is easier than I thought it would be. As so as I think I might have just got one now. My phone's probably going to die before I even finish the stream. Come on. Oh, this one's really tangled in now. I don't know, the band finally gave up. Fucked out. Annoying as fuck. God. Okay. The box has been defeated. And my dignity has been depleted. There's the Thomas. He has screws in him, unlike Percy. but he is all plastic. He feels like he's got a bit more weight to him than Percy does. Let's look at him next to the metal one. The plastic one, the rivet detail is a lot thicker on it. The one also looks a bit bolder. It's also obviously a bit grainier. And obviously, apart from having like a different sheen to them, they're virtually identical. Although the plastic one might be a slightly lighter shade of blue. Even the wheels look a tad brighter, but that might just be me. The faces are identical, but the plastic one looks like, well, it's obviously a bit grainier. But I noticed like the black around the mouth looks bigger. And so the magnets, yeah, the magnets are on the right way. Cool. Yeah, very different licensing on the bottom too. Probably doesn't show well on camera. This bag has the adapter in it. I don't need to bother with that right now. Oh, okay. This bag has some of the smaller pieces. Signs, gates. This one I might have to actually look at the instructions for. Okay, the instructions have a sticker sheet taped to them. Something mess up the instructions. That would suck. There we go. There's the instructions. One of them is a ticket window which has the Thomas and Friends logo, but instead it says tickets on it. That's actually kind of cute. Yeah, we'll start by assembling the station. And I'm guessing that a good chunk, if not all of it, is one-time snacks. Sorry, I just had to mess with the gimmick there. Oh yeah, you can see the bell in there. Neat. We also have the Thomas and Friends logo twice on this little spinning bit, which is odd. Okay, step one, it wants me to fit the car park into it. These feel pretty one-time snappy. Definitely. Next, the bushes. Which are right here. Dirt. I'm gonna go wipe this real quick. Oh, that one there, it's nice. I am back. Sorry about that. There was some like black stuff on the orange base thing. I just don't want to wipe it off. Okay. Bushes added. Yeah, now it wants me to build the station itself. I probably should put the stickers on first. The instructions actually. Never mind, I'll just do that. Start putting stickers on this main building now. I hate stickers so much. Okay, that could have been nice. I'll let you look at my face while I do this so you can see me struggle. The windows, the fuck! I guarantee nobody watching this stream right now has any idea why I just did that. Oh, that didn't go in there at all. If I had known I'd have to put these stickers on, I probably wouldn't have made this a live stream. Now you get to see how much... Okay, that's not great, but that's probably the best I'll get it. To do the other side. These are some strong stickers. Okay, that one went a lot better. Instant. Maybe I am awesome. I'll do the clock next. Okay, yeah, it's not got a specific so that should only seem to matter where I put it. There we go. That works. Now the ticket window. This one's just a square, so it should be a rectangle. There we go. Got windows on the sides.
it off.
Concentration, check, you don't understand. Stickers and my mortal enemy. I'm sure at least one of the two people watching this can relate.
Okay, I damaged the sticker in the process, but I got it on. I'll stop that. There's the other side, I'll get that done. That's what it takes. Okay, that could have gone worse. Same with that one. I think that's all the stickers this part has. So let's work on actually assembling. We've got small bits of here. Like it says I put this on the station base. Camera down again just so you can actually see what I'm doing. Next up is the roof. And the actual bell. Okay, then these gates. If I get this right. There we go. That's it. Oh, I've got to put stickers on the crossing gate too. Okay. This is not printing out. Okay, that could have gone a lot worse. Trying to put a red sticker on a red piece of plastic. It's very hard for me to determine what. We have dropped down to a single wheel now, that's not surprising. Oop. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm being so quiet right now, it's just, I have to focus. Okay. I probably should have ended this stream ages ago. Because I said it's probably the most interesting part of it. I already said what I wanted to say, really, because the point was I wanted to give my thoughts on the new track system. And I've done that. So now I'm just sort of here. But I've done the gate. So marks there. Interference there. Crossing gate locked in. Can you lock the fuck in? I'm trying to. Crossing sign. What looks to be the Topham crossing. It's interesting that we still haven't seen what the Fat Controller is supposed to look like for the new show yet. I'm very curious about that actually. Okay, the sign is not a one-time snap. You can take it out, but it does feel pretty snap-like. And yeah, there's the station complete. What's left is the sign with stickers. And then after that we can finally get to work actually building it. Didn't go on entirely right. There we go. As soon as the Thomason comes, they'll go on the back. And that goes here. Can I get on this track actually? I can. But will allow you to mix and match. Because this doesn't seem to be a one-time snap. So that's good. Like that. So we're finally done with the stickers. It's time to get out. I'm trying to speed run this now because I realise that after all that this is probably very boring. At the very least I want to finish the set and get an actual look at it. It looks to be a pretty simple setup, so I'm not going to follow the instructions. In fact, I might even take some liberties with it. Let's see, inside. Plastic tennis ball. I also need water. Trying to make use of the space. I'm not going to drop this set exactly as the box top. Have it be some stations of the thing up. God. These ones are very strong. Now we gotta do these elevator sections. They are mandatory in Thomas sets. For some reason I feel like this set would be perfectly fine without these, just giving us a normal shape and color. But whatever. I'm not employed at one of the biggest toy companies in the world. But that one I know as well. And there we go. There's the Bell Station set. Oh wait. So Mr. Comment, thoughts on the upcoming reboot? We'll probably check it out to see what they do with Rosie and Charlie. Yeah. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much about it, but there are a few things that catch my eye. At most, I am curious just to see what they're going for in terms of tone. Because they keep throwing around authentic train culture a lot as basically a buzzword for the fandom. Or fans. I do wonder, like... I just want to know, for one, what are they going for in terms of trying to make the engines seem realistic? And also, are they actually going to make some good stories? Or is it basically just going to be all engines go, but the characters look like real trains again, so you like it now, right, guys? Yeah. I also... because they seem to be bringing back a lot of characters for it. So I wonder how much all of them are really going to do, and how characterization is going to be. Are we going to get a return to form with the characters being like their old selves, or are they going to be, sanitized to the same extent that the Egg cast were? I am also very interested in seeing how it's cool to have Rosie as a main character. I hope that they do her well.
And I am very curious to see how they handle Charlie. I do actually think it's interesting to see that they turn Charlie into a female. Honestly, I think that's something they could do with characters. As I'm talking, I've also noticed that this Plastic Thomas has a bit of flashing at the top of the funnel, which is unfortunate. Oh, you can see that. There's that bit jutting up. This Metal Thomas doesn't have it. So that's pretty simple. You get your Plastic Thomas and you run him around. So, put up here, run him through the tunnel, and do a full loop to the station. Push down on the button, and out come the passengers, which he can't pick up because he doesn't have a coach. So it looks like they're being left behind. Also, yeah, there's these car park spots, which for now you can only put engines in, but I imagine that will change once they actually introduce Bertie and Flynn Jr. once those come out. Again, I gotta say, it's actually a pretty solid set. It's good as a starter set. Also, no one's watching, so finally everyone's gotten bored of me, but I will continue to voice my opinions. I think this is a good set. My only real gripe is that it should have come with a coach. Like, it doesn't have to be Annie or Clarabelle, per se, but I think if they took this and made a version without the face, they could easily just bundle it as a generic coach for the set. Maybe make a red Grandson coach, assuming those are in the show. And because they made a faceless truck for the Percy Nimbus set, I feel like they could have done the same here. Because, again, it just makes sense to have a piece of passenger stock to pick up the passengers. And having an exclusive piece of rolling stock, I feel, would give people a bit more incentive to buy it as well. But that little gripe aside, I do think this set is pretty solid. Like, it's simple, and it's a normal train set. And you know how much we love normal train sets. I'm curious to see, how do the big engines handle this? Henry fits on it just fine. Is it stuck? Yeah, I do think that size probably interferes with the cab a little bit. It's just big enough for Henry. But Gordon just fits on it. Again, that makes me really curious about Hero. Ooh. We did clip on the hill there. That lower section doesn't really get to them. I think also, again, this is a small pet peeve, but I do like that they've included this little junction so you can expand as you get more track, but I do think they should have included a set of buffers instead of a ramp, because as it stands, I don't think we've seen any buffers as like a separate piece. We've got some in the Tidmouth Shed set, but again, those are permanently attached, so I don't really count those. But that's just a small one. I also noticed the plastic seems... It looks like some stress has been put on it here. I don't know how that happened. And just because I did it earlier will give a motorized engine a run on it. on this one. Who knows, maybe I will buy an engine. Maybe I'll get Rosy or something just for the sake of having it. Test how she likes these sets. I know at least the 2025 one seemed to know comments real quick. I doubt anyone said anything. Nope. But yeah. With that said and done, I guess this is the end of my thoughts on the 2026 track. And also the plastic engines, which not a whole lot I can really say about them. But, I mean, I guess they're good. They make the sets a little cheaper, and it makes sense because they're made in a different factory. But honestly, I do think the metal engines are probably going to be better for longevity. Maybe these will be good for custom potential, though. Who knows? Or maybe they'll just be good for general travel, because they don't have paint that you can chip easily. Yeah, but not a whole lot to say. I don't know how this stream ended up with one. Probably shouldn't have. Also, real quickly, I do want to look at what's on here, because I know I've seen some talk about it. That seems to be Lady Hat right there. I don't know if that's Steven or just a generic kid. That looks like the Grumpy Passenger, which if he's in the new show, that's how you know it's going to be good. Also, an old woman there. I don't know if she was in the CGI series. What looks like the Duchess of Boxford, maybe? Not sure. Still no sign of the Fat Controller, but he is on the sign. So, yes. I guess that's all from me. We have hit 100 minutes. That's probably a good place to end off. Apologies for streaming this at a bad time, and apologies if this probably wasn't what anyone who did tune in wanted to see. But have a Henry good day. You too, Fireless Locomotive. I hope... Personally, I enjoyed this stream Henry much. Well, I'm glad someone can appreciate my efforts. Ooh! Goodbye, everyone.